Well, hello, my lovelies. It's Murky Meg here. It's Monday, the 28th of February, and on Saturday, Harry and Meghan asked for the world to support Ukraine and its conflict with Vladimir Putin in Russia. They made a speech as they were presented President's Award at the NAACP Image Awards in Hollywood. It was a glittering event, and they received the award for support of racial equality through their Archwell Foundation. If you haven't seen my previous video, I did one a couple of days ago with regards to them releasing a statement on their Archwell website about this very subject. I've popped a link in the top right hand corner if you've not seen it already. Apparently, they accepted the award for their work helping a Texas woman's shelter, promoting vaccine equality and creating community relief centres. But of course, they spoke about the Ukraine situation because it's a bandwagon and they like to get on it. Up on the stage, Harry said, "I think it's safe to say that I come from a very different background from my incredible wife, yet our lives were brought together for a reason. We share a commitment to a life of service, a responsibility to combat injustice, and a belief that the most often overlooked are the most important to listen to." Interesting as well that Doria was wheeled out in front of the peeps, just in case you needed a reminder of where Meghan's background and her roots are, because, you know, this lady didn't put Caucasian on her CV at all, did she? Yes, she did. Meghan obviously piped up and said when receiving their award, "I couldn't be prouder that we're doing this work together. We moved to California, my home state, shortly before the murder of George Floyd. For Black America, those 9 minutes and 29 seconds transcended time, invoked centuries of our unhealed wounds. In the months that followed, as my husband and I spoke with the civil rights community, we committed ourselves and our organisation, Archwell, to illuminating those who are advancing radical justice and progress." But word on the street, i.e. Crazy Days and Nights Blind website, say that the A-list couple insisted on a low six-figure sum before they could be talked into accepting an award. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Now I have to point out that's just a blind, and it's from Crazy Days and Nights, so you have to take it with a pinch of salt, but they have been pretty spot on over the years, to be perfectly honest. What do you think? Are they capable of creating this sham awards and accepting it, but only to receive a six-figure sum? Are they the sort of humanitarians that don't get out of bed for a certain amount? And not only that, but I said in my previous video that the NAACP was teaming up with Archwell, i.e. Harry and Meghan's little baby, for a new Digital Rights Award. And this is the first year that that award has been given away. And do you know who is the recipient of this? Somebody who works with Archwell. That's right. The 100,000 prize gift is being given to somebody that works for Archwell. You can't make it up, can you? Her name is Sophia Noble, and she's right there on the Archwell website. She's collaborating with UCLA and Archwell Foundation, and she is the recipient of the first Digital Civil Rights Archwell Award. I'm sorry, but that's nepotism. It's all over the place, isn't it? I said in my previous video, nepotism at its finest, but this goes beyond the pale, really. So the recipient of the NAACP Archwell Award is granted $100,000 a year annually. And if we look at this particular blind that suggests that the NAACP has given Harry and Meghan a six-figure sum to attend and accept the awards, they just kind of null each other out, don't they? So win-win for Harry and Meghan, because literally there is nothing out of their pocket and they get the name on the award. They don't have to pay that £100,000 because if I'm led to believe and this blind is right, the NAACP gave them the money. They're just literally giving them what they gave them. Do you get my drift? So it's a win-win situation for them. They get the honour and praise that they're like, we've created this brand new award, when in fact they didn't have to do anything. That £100,000 has technically just come from the NAACP in a roundabout way back to the recipient of the Archwell Award. But it got me thinking, is it normal to be paid to accept an award? Or is this something that is completely unusual for them to demand and command this amount of money to set foot on the stage? I've never heard of it before. It's a really bizarre concept to me that somebody would get paid to accept an award. It's really humanitarian of them, isn't it? It's bonkers. It really, really is. But as I said in my previous video, you cannot forget who is involved with both Harry and Meghan and the NAACP, and that is the overly aggressive PR company Sunshine Sachs. They are the pit bulls of PR. Then quite a few of the American publications are questioning whether or not they are able to maintain their lifestyle with what they have coming in, which isn't very much at the moment. Yes, they've got these mega deals from Spotify and Netflix, but if you don't put out any content, you're not going to get paid. And they would have, I would imagine, been given advances, but it's not going to be mega money. They have to sing for their supper and provide decent content before they are actually giving the millions and millions of dollars. Now, when they left the royal family, they probably assumed that everybody would be falling at their feet. That didn't happen. Is the reality that they are having a bit of a tough time living up to everybody's expectations? Harry is working for Better Up as their chimpo, their chief impact officer, and that is a relatively proper job, I would imagine. They're not going to throw money at him without him doing anything. Or maybe he is just a puppet poster boy to bring in the people for Better Up. They've barely put out any content with regards to Netflix or Spotify. Well, they haven't put out any content for Netflix. They say that Pearl's in production, but we've not heard or seen anything with regards to that. And they've put out one episode on their Spotify podcast. Now, this magazine that I'm quoting spoke to an insider in Hollywood who said that so far they've only produced 30 minutes for Spotify. And it's common knowledge that both these companies, Spotify and Netflix, are recruiting people to help Harry and Meghan with their content. Again, that doesn't look good. If you're having to be project managed, then you're not really doing a good project. The insider said that folks think Harry and Meghan aren't doing their jobs or just inept. Meghan has been hands-on with the production of her new animated Netflix series Pearl. They can't do everything themselves. Then there was the weird controversy with regards to Josh Rogan and him reporting on the pandemic misinformation, where Harry and Meghan put Spotify on alert that they don't support COVID misinformation and have growing concern over its spread on their platform. And the insider continues but they made sure to add that they intend to continue with their collaboration, which they caught heat for. The insider continues that after nearly 2 years of wheeling and dealing, all of these things are either falling apart or on the verge of it, adds the insider. It's been a nightmare for Harry and Meghan. Oh, poor little diddums. The insider said, adding to the stress in January, it was reported that the charity organisation, the Archwell Foundation, which they launched in April 2020, raised less than $50,000 in its first years. And the insider notes that there's no getting around the fact that Harry and Meghan struggle with a lot of negative attention. One of which was Harry's recent burnout comments, which caught a huge amount of flack. A lot of people pointed out that he is one of the most privileged human beings on the planet, and it came off as very, very self-centred and pompous. Tone deaf, I would imagine. And it's left a lot of people wondering what on earth are they going to do if they don't put out content that is up to expectations. Where will everything end? With regards to being paid for to attend the event and accept the award, I think that if true, it's a pretty shocking allegation, because these two point themselves to be the perfect humanitarians. They don't do it in the sidelines. They shout about it and make sure the whole world knows exactly what they are doing and how much they are helping. Debatable, but a lot of people have actually spoken up about the irony of these two getting this award for justice and civil rights activation when in fact they haven't really done very much. And even they themselves said that this first year of Archwell was taking a back seat because of the pandemic. Nothing makes sense. It all stinks of nepotism, and it's all you scratch my back, I'll scratch yours. Once and for all, we always know that Sunshine Sachs being involved will be the people that are pushing the PR machine to get rid of their negative press. But unfortunately, the more you push this machine to try and obliterate negative press, the more negative press will happen. I know one thing that will help them. If they stopped using their titles so aggressively in everything they do, it wouldn't annoy people so much. If they just simply went with Harry and Meghan and not ram the Duke and Duchess of Sussex titles down everybody's throat in every single thing they do, I think that people would actually respect them a little bit more. But because every single time we hear them or see them or they make a release a statement or anything like that, those titles are everywhere. And it just kind of cements the fact that, well, you're nothing without your titles. So what you're doing is at odds with the monarchy, and it's actually making a mockery of it. So I would love to know your thoughts on all of this. Do you think that it is a complete sham of an awards? That why on earth were they actually given the awards? Do you think that they were paid to attend and to receive the awards? Do you think that is a viable blind to suggest that? Or do you think it was a kind of a symbiotic relationship that they were paid a six-figure sum so that they can give the six-figure sum back to the Archwell Award recipient, therefore making themselves look they are the true humanitarians on the very, very front and the pulse of it, when ultimately they haven't really had to do anything or pay anything out. They get the good PR and they're not out of pocket. As always, I would love to know your thoughts.
Thank you very much for watching. If you haven't already, please subscribe to my YouTube channel, hit the notification bell and also that like button. I'd like to take this opportunity to thank all of my followers for all the tips and all the emails, DMs that everybody sends to me. It really is greatly appreciated. So thank you very much for watching once again.